Hello everybody, I am Kino, and today I'm going to do a strategy tutorial for you. This is going to be a Protoss strategy, and it's going to revolve around getting a gateway and then a Stargate for a void ray to allow you to put on some pressure while you get up a Nexus at your expansion, because this is basically a fast expand build. So let's just go through the build order here. Now, so basically it's a pretty standard build order up until the Cybernetics Core. So let's just run through this really quick. So you're going to build a pylon at 9 supply, throw down a pylon. And then you're going to build your next probe. This build throughout I'm going to show you the build order at the end of the video, but throughout the entire build order it's constant probe production, so just assume that. So as soon as your pylon finishes, you're going to chrono boost your first set of probes. And then you're going to build a gateway at 13, so we're going to see a gateway pop up here pretty soon. Another chrono boost going down, just do constant probe production, because we're going to spend all of our chrono boosts on probes up until the point we get the Stargate to chrono boost a void ray out. Now, we do this because this build is focused on being a fast expand build, and whenever you're fast expanding, you want to have a lot of harvesters, so that whenever your expand finishes, you can transfer half of your harvesters or however many to your expansion. So that's why we're doing all of our chrono boosts on the Nexus, and we're not going to do any chrono boosts on the warp gate. So let's just jump back into this. And as soon as your gateway is finished, we're going to throw up a Assimilator. And the Assimilator is going to go up here at 14. You can probably get it and fit it in a 14 supply, 14 or 15. Just basically that's the next building you're going to make after your gateway. And then after that, we're going to go make a pylon. So this is a really standard Protoss opening. It doesn't diverge until a little bit later, but you're going to throw up your pylon at about 17 food, and as soon as your gateway finishes, you're going to build a Cybernetics Core. So there goes the Cybernetics Core, and then after your Cybernetics Core, you're going to make a Zelot. Basically, you're going to have a couple units being produced at the beginning here. We're going to make a Zelot and 2 Stalkers just to fight off any type of annoyances. So right here, after you make the Zelot, you're going to spend your next amount of money on Assimilator. Now, you need your second Assimilator because you're going to be going void rays, and that's very gas intensive. Now, at this point, I'm going to talk about, let's say this whatever your opponent is, your Terran player, because this strategy is Protoss versus Terran strategy. So let's say this Terran player decided to go for gas steal. Now, in that situation, I would probably recommend this Zealot that you have to be building, chrono boost out the Zealot and skip a chrono boost on the probes, and that way you'll just be able to kill that a little bit faster, and it won't slow down your Stargate as much. So that's something you want to do there. And also, if he's building it, just take some probes and start attacking the SCV so he doesn't build too much on that refinery. So that's just one simple change that you probably want to throw in there if they do decide to steal your gas. So let's just jump right back into this. So put your second Assimilator up. Do some more chrono boosts on your probes there. And then you're going to throw up a pylon, you're going to start warp gate research, and you're going to start your Stalker all at the same time. So all those are going to go down. Now, you're not going to chrono boost your Cybernetics Core at all, so don't worry about that. Just keep chrono boosting your Nexus. And of course, as soon as your Assimilator finishes, put workers on that, because you're going to want to have as much gas as possible. So we're going to go for a void ray. There it is. We're going to put up a Stargate over here in the right-hand corner. Now, the position of the Stargate is very important, because especially on this map, you can see here, he put a Stalker down here in this bottom position because in case for any type of scouting or a Reaper harass, because a very common build for a Terran player is to go for a Reaper expand. So this is a really good spot to put your Stalker to prevent any type of Reaper scouting. So it's a really good spot for this, and you want to put your Stargate in a position that it's going to be hard to scout. You don't want it anywhere near the entrance of your base. You don't want it anywhere in this whole vicinity, or any given map that has an entrance closer to the front. You don't want to have your Stargate there. And you really don't want to have it next to the rest of your building. So this is kind of a little bit out and away spot to put it. Anywhere over here would have been nice too. So just going to have that go, and you're just going to continue to chrono boost probes out, because you want to have as many probes as possible. And then we're going to throw down a pylon down here. I think the 31 supply, throw down another pylon, and you're going to throw up a gateway at the same time. So this will be your second gateway. Now, if this timing works out pretty well, and actually we did have a Reaper just jump in there really quick. The Reaper came in there and he stopped it. That Reaper actually didn't get any information there, so you can check this out. Yep, he hasn't seen it. So that's pretty smart. Now, you're basically going to be with a Zealot and 2 Stalkers here at the opening. And right whenever this Cybernetics Core finishes, you should have enough money to make a Nexus. But the first thing you want to spend your money on before that is, of course, your Void Ray. So after you make your gateway, you'll want to make this void ray as soon as you should have enough gas and minerals so that as soon as the Stargate finishes, you can make a void ray. And then you want to, from then on, spend your chrono boost on your void ray to produce as many void rays as possible. And you just want to rally those void rays over here to your opponent's base and just start harassing them. Kill workers. Is your priority is to kill SCVs or Marines if they start harassing you. So let's just jump into this. So that is chrono boosted away, which is perfect. And you'll see this here. The warp gate is going to finish right about the same time here. That you're going to throw up your Nexus at 36. And we'll have, there we go, the Cybernetics Core finishes, researching warp gate. At the same time, your second gateway finishes, so you can make both these out of gateways. A scan comes down, so he's going to see this void ray coming out. And you'll instantly want to start another void ray here. He's got 250, so there he goes, another void ray being produced. Chrono boost that. Constantly chrono boost this, this void ray out as soon as you get that producing. So this Nexus is up and going. And we got a little bit of an army here, and the void ray harass has started. Now at this point, you can see this guy has got stem started. He's about a third of the way into that. And basically what you want to do is, the only thing you have to worry about is missile turrets and Marines. Now missile turrets can't chase you, so you should just be able to micro around those. That won't be too much of a problem. And Marines are really low on life, and they need quite a few Marines to actually kill a void ray. And this replay was actually posted, this replay was actually done in version 1.2. Now since 1.3 just came out and STEM research has been changed to 170 instead of 140, this rush is even stronger because it's going to take your opponent that much longer, 30 more in-game seconds to get stem. So this rush is actually stronger now since that change. So you can see here he opened with an expansion, so they both have an expansion. His is a little bit sooner, and he opened with 2 barracks, getting some Marines out. He actually has some Marauders down here in this bunker, but he doesn't have enough Marines. And this build really crushes your opponent. If your opponent doesn't get a really Marine-heavy army at the opening, you can deal a lot of damage to your opponent. And if they go for a 1-1-1 opening, you're going to have the expansion, and they really won't have the army to attack you very soon. So let me just talk about another situation here real quick that may come up. So let's say they don't go for the factory or the starport here. They just go for a really quick 3 barracks build. And they go for, a really quick 3 barracks build with stem, some type of timing rush with that. So basically what you're going to do is that you're going to be able to scout that with your void ray. You'll see it, and you'll see all the Marines come up to try and attack you. And in that position, you need to gauge, okay, how many Marines does he have? Can I hold this off if he attacks me? Now, probably if he's being really aggressive about it, you'll probably have to cancel your Nexus and use your warp gates, warp in some sentries, and just force field your ramp. And then you'll be on the defensive just for a little bit. But as soon as you get out about 3 or 4 void rays and you build up your warp gate army, you can counter, and those void rays plus your warp gate army will crush that 3 barracks build. So there's just a little bit of a decision making you have to make at that situation if they go for a really strong 3 barracks aggressive attack. But anyway, we can watch this void ray tear up, and you have to have a little bit of micro with the void ray here. You just have to control it. If you see Marines, run away. Like you'll see here, he's charged up, and once they're charged up, they just kill Marines so fast. And as soon as the second void ray comes up, it's just really bad. For the Terran players out there, if you only have 2 or 3 Marines, don't fight the void ray. You're better off just losing SCVs and keeping those Marines alive, so that later on, whenever you have like 7 or 8 Marines, you can actually go up and do a serious amount of damage. Because when you only show up with 3 or 4 Marines, you aren't going to do enough to actually matter. And these void rays are just going to wreck this base. And you can see Stem is just about finished. He's calling down mules. It's not really going to matter, but just this build is really strong. You can really hurt your opponent, crush them. If they decide to do, 2 units ruin his life. But if they don't have a really strong Marine army, you can really do some serious damage and hurt your opponent for going a more of a risky build. So that's basically it. All I can think of with this build. You may be wondering, okay, this is a close air spawning distance map. Will this work as well on a bigger map? And actually, the thing I want to talk about is, sure, in this situation, this replay, this 2 void ray rush works, and it actually won the game. But in most of your games, it's probably not going to work. You're probably not going to win outright if you do. But that's the good part of this build, is you're set up for an expansion. You have your expansion up and going. You've got a ton of workers, 31 workers by this point, and you have your expansion up and you're set ready to go. And from this point, you can transition into Robo. You can add more warp gate. You got 2 bases running. You got your void rays out. And you basically, with your void ray, since if you're on a really long distance map, a really long rush distance map, your void ray will be able to scout his base out, And it's going to take him a really long time to run across the map to counter you if he sees you going Void Rays, if he's going like a 3 barracks build. So that'll give you a lot of time to build sentries and build units and whatnot, and cancel your Nexus if you think he's coming. So long distance maps, short distance maps, both are really good for this build. I think it's a really strong build, and hope you Protoss players out there give it a shot and see how it works out. And that's all I can think of right now. I'm going to keep doing some more tutorials for you, so check back for more of those. And subscribe, comment, rate. If you have any questions on this build, just leave them in the comments, and I'll try and answer them for you.